For nearly 2 centuries, an unparalleled army displayed exceptional prowess and dominance over its adversaries, earning them the esteemed name of the Immortals. These extraordinary warriors were none other than the Persian Immortals, celebrated as one of the most renowned military forces in ancient history. Originating from the Achaemenid Empire, which stood as the world's largest empire during its era, the Persian Immortals were distinguished for their organizational prowess and remarkable military achievements. Delve into this captivating video as we explore every facet of this esteemed Persian army. Emerging in 550 BC, the Achaemenid Empire gradually expanded to encompass vast territories, stretching from Egypt across Western Asia to North India and Central Asia. Among the empire's numerous marvels, one entity stands out prominently in historical records: the army of Persian Immortals. The renowned Greek historian Herodotus documented their name, the Immortals, in his writings. Comprising a formidable infantry unit of 10,000 soldiers, the Immortals served as both the imperial guard and an integral component of the Persian Empire's standing army. They held an esteemed status as the most prominent unit within the empire's military forces. Remarkably, this unit persevered throughout the empire's existence, from 550 BC to 330 BC, maintaining its numerical strength and unwavering resolve for nearly 2 centuries. Contrary to popular belief, Herodotus explained that the Immortals were not named for their immortality. Instead, the name was bestowed upon them due to their strict adherence to a precise size of 10,000 men. Whenever a soldier fell in battle or became incapable of fulfilling his duties, he was swiftly replaced by another courageous warrior. This process ensured the unit's constant strength, size, organization, cohesiveness, and ability to function as a unified squad. The unit's unwavering size fostered the belief that the Immortals were invincible and impervious to weakness, a notion that solidified their renowned title, the Immortals, which accurately described this formidable army. The Achaemenid Empire found its roots under the leadership of Cyrus the Great, also known as Cyrus II, in 550 BC. Besides establishing the empire, Cyrus formed the awe-inspiring Immortals, a 10,000-man army. To build the mighty Persian Empire, Cyrus waged wars against the Medes, Elam, Lydia, and Babylon. By incorporating warriors from conquered lands, particularly the Median and Elamite soldiers, he bolstered the size and strength of his army. The Immortal army came into existence after the Persian triumph in the Battle of Opis, where the Akkadian army was defeated, and Babylon fell under Persian control. Following the conquest of Babylon and its subsequent occupation, Pantea Arteshbot, a female commander, was appointed as the governor of Babylon under Persian rule. Pantea and her husband, General Aryazb, are credited with instituting the Immortals as an elite guard unit within the vast Persian army. Another historical account, provided by Xenophon, attributes the formation of the Immortals directly to Cyrus himself. According to this account, Cyrus personally handpicked the best 10,000 warriors from his army to guard his palace day and night. As the cream of the crop, and owing to their unique organizational structure, they eventually earned the name the Immortals. Cyrus, through the Kara system, emerged victorious over the Medes, Elam, Lydia, and Babylon. This system did not rely on a standing army, but rather on the king's request for warriors from loyal cities during times of war. After conquering these empires, Cyrus the Great maintained the Kara system, while establishing his own standing army called Sparta, composed of conscripts from across the Persian Empire. The top ranks of Sparta consisted of the strongest Medes and Persian warriors. It was from this standing army that the first Immortal infantry unit was selected. Training in the Persian army, military training commenced at the age of 15 for boys intended for army service. However, for noble Persians and Medes, training commenced at the very early age of 5 and was considerably more intense. These young boys were trained extensively in archery, javelin throwing, and horsemanship. Despite their noble birth, they were subjected to rigorous conditions, enduring marches under various weather conditions, such as cold, heat, and rain. With limited food rations, they had to largely rely on self-sustenance through hunting and gathering. Additionally, they participated in hunting activities, athletic contests, and tests of endurance. Alongside physical training, they were instilled with the teachings of the Persian religion, the nation's history, and the noble deeds of historic figures. They were also trained in virtues such as truthfulness and developed administrative skills expected of future leaders. For non-noble recruits into the Persian standing army, training commenced at the age of 15. These recruits were divided into 50 classes for core military training, where they received instruction in archery, javelin throwing, swordsmanship, martial arts, military discipline, running, hunting, and other essential skills for warfare. Living off what they could acquire through hunting, gathering, and subsistence farming, they were taught agricultural skills as a means of contributing to society. Official military service began at the age of 20, and soldiers had the option to retire voluntarily at the age of 50. The Immortals' uniform and weapons distinguished from other units in the Greek army. The Immortals constituted an elite force within the Persian army and were treated accordingly. They wore loose caps known as tiaras to shield themselves from severe dust storms. Their attire consisted of colorful tunics with sleeves and iron breastplates to protect their chests. As for weaponry, they carried a quiver of arrows, bows, short stabbing spears, and daggers. Historical accounts also note that Persians adorned themselves with gold jewelry and hoop earrings during battle. In contrast, the Sasanian Empire equipped its own immortals with iron plates covering their bodies from head to toe. Notably, when the immortals traveled for battle, they were accompanied by long caravans carrying their concubines, slaves, and personal provisions for their care. In contrast, other Persian warriors utilized camels and yoke animals to transport their necessities. The Immortals enjoyed exceptional treatment within the Persian standing army. They operated under optimal conditions, received handsome compensation, and were provided special food and drinks during military campaigns. The top 1,000 Immortals, considered the elite among the elite, had gold pomegranates attached to the end of their spears, while the remaining 9,000 bore silver pomegranates. The Battle of Thermopylae holds significant historical recognition due to the notable involvement of the Immortals. King Xerxes I, seeking retribution for Darius I's defeat at the Battle of Marathon, launched an attack against the Greek states. The battle unfolded as the Greeks endeavored to prevent the invading Persian army from reaching their cities. Initially, Xerxes dispatched a unit of Medes and Scythians to confront the Spartans and the rest of the Greek defense. However, the Greek force proved superior and managed to hold them back. Eventually, the king called upon his Immortals to engage in the battle. With the assistance of Ephialtes, they ultimately overwhelmed and defeated Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, as well as the remaining Greek defenders at the Battle of Thermopylae. While the Immortals featured prominently in the Battle of Thermopylae, they also participated in various other Persian military expeditions. However, they operated alongside the rest of the king's standing army, rather than as an independent unit. During times of peace, the Immortals functioned as the palace guard, responsible for protecting the king. The Persian Immortals were a formidable force throughout their existence, and even after the disbandment of the unit, their legacy endured. For instance, the Sasanian Empire, which eventually conquered a significant portion of the Achaemenid territory, established their own elite group of 10,000 soldiers known as the Immortals. Unlike their predecessors, the Sasanian Immortals served as mounted cavalry. Nevertheless, the cultural influence developed by the Persian Immortals persisted in the region and continues to be recognized and celebrated to this day.